Hi everyone, Donut here, and as you can see, I don't wear sunblock ever. I forgot to, and now instead of a donut, I'm a tomato. I went out with some friends and took a boat to this place called St. Catherine's Island. It's off the coast of Georgia. It's near Savannah. And on St. Catherine's Island, there is the largest wild lemur population outside of Madagascar. It was pretty neat. I didn't see any lemurs.
It's actually the only wild
Oh,
lemur population outside of Madagascar.
the only wild lemur population outside of Madagascar. I wish we could have seen a lemur, but we didn't see one. But it was a completely desolate of people beach, and there were these rad seashells everywhere. We picked up a bunch of seashells, and now I can't feel my face. What am I fucking saying? I I've lost my. Oh, police stuff. Yeah, that's why we're here, because this channel revolves around police stuff. Waffle House. That's what we're going to talk about first. I'm just going to do a little update on that. A little bit more information has been released on the incident in the video I did the other day, where the officer grabs the guy who's resisting by the throat for a few seconds and takes him down. It turns out the man in the video and his sister had police called on them by Waffle House employees because they were throwing things and screaming at the Waffle House employees. Law enforcement shows up on scene, and that's when a little scuffle broke out between the officer and the man who was grabbed. The mayor of Warsaw actually came out with a video defending his officer in this situation.
We must understand that this young man had broke the law. He was there, he started a fight, and the officer's job is to make an arrest if there's see fit or there's a reason to. This officer did what he had to do to make sure. Now I want the public to understand that this is not a racially motivated issue. This was just a young man who had broken the law, and a law enforcement officer arrested him. And unfortunately, physical contact took place because he refused to cooperate or or obey the law.
Why's it gotta be about race, Sean King? The mayor, the black mayor in the video, came out and defended his white officer, saying the guy in the video was being a problem, and that problem was handled. Sean King knows how to play the game, though. You put on a 10-second video without any context, which, by the way, context is racist. I learned that last week, and it gets, what, like 4 million views? Outstanding. On to our main video of the day. This video comes out of Jackson, Mississippi, and it's probably one of the craziest gunfights I've seen come across this channel. This whole incident started when a Jackson police officer pulled over the Reed brothers for a traffic violation. The Reed brothers being 30-year-old Elliot Reed and 26-year-old Chancey Reed. The officer can be seen speaking with Elliot Reed on the driver's side of the SUV when a little scuffle breaks out between the two. It looks like the officer was trying to pat him down, and he didn't really want to be patted down, so the officer grabs him around the legs and takes him down onto the ground. This is about the time Chancey Reed runs around to the driver's side of the vehicle and joins in the fight, jumping on the officer with Elliot. The officer manages to squeeze his way in between the SUV door and the vehicle beside the SUV, with Elliot still on his back. It looks like Elliot Reed is trying to keep the officer from pulling his service pistol out of the holster. That's when Chancey Reed grabs an AK-style rifle and runs around the car. I just feel like someone named Chancey wouldn't have an AK-47, but he did, and he started firing it at the officer while his brother Elliot was on the officer's back. The officer recovers off the ground, is now able to draw out his service pistol. He fires several shots at each brother, retreats behind his patrol car, then fires several more shots through the windshield of the SUV that the brothers were in. I can't find anything saying whether or not Chauncey was hit by the gunfire. He was pretty close, but the officer, you can see, is a little rattled. As you can understand, he was just being shot at by an AK-47 while someone was on his back. Elliot, on the other hand, was struck by multiple rounds and later died at the hospital. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that some of those shots that struck him and ended up killing him were probably fired by his dumbass brother. Old Chancey tried to kill a cop and ended up smoking his brother and spending life in prison instead. The officer is okay, but the story doesn't end there. Chancey was taken to the Hinds County Detention Facility. He was charged with capital murder along with aggravated assault on a police officer, but the jail accidentally released him. Yes, the man trying to Swiss cheese a police officer with 7.62s was accidentally released from the jail by a detention officer. How do you fuck that up? Fortunately, though, Jackson police officers and federal marshals were able to take Chancey back into custody without further incident. One of the suspect's cousins told news outlets, "I think the whole thing is messed up. They say he was shooting at police. I don't believe that, because that's my little cousin. I know he ain't gonna shoot at no police." One of Elliot's friends said he was a good person. He didn't bother anyone. Everybody has their flaws. Who's to say they didn't just kill him because they felt threatened by him? That just kind of goes to show how biased some people are against police officers, that after someone can shoot at a police officer with an AK-style rifle trying to kill them, they'll still defend their loved one saying it was the police's fault. Always the police's fault. The next shooting video that we're going to take a look at comes out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, where two Tulsa gang officers spotted a vehicle sitting in a parking lot that was known for illegal activity. One of the officers approaches the passenger side of the vehicle, while the other officer, it looks like, is near a hotel room speaking with someone else. The officer who approached the passenger side of the vehicle knocks on the window, but the person inside will not roll it down. The officer tries to open the door, but the person just locks the car. That's when the officer who is filming walks around to the driver's side of the vehicle.
Hey, how you doing, sir? You stay out here?
No, I'm just dropping him off.
As soon as he gets around to the driver's side of the vehicle, the driver steps out, but he can see the passenger with a gun pointed at his face. The two gang officers who are on scene act appropriately and fire several shots into the man who is pointing a gun at one of them.
Hey, let me see your hands, partner.
Hey!
What do you got?
Hey!
William 236, hold traffic, shots fired. 8500 East 41st Street, extended stay.
Problem solved, problem stays solved. The man died on scene. It turned out he had 4 warrants. Last but not least, the final shooting video that we're going to take a look at today comes out of Denton, Texas. Denton police officers were on scene of a wreck doing a wreck report when a man that had nothing to do with the wreck walked up on scene and started screaming at the officers. The officers got out of their patrol vehicle. They approached the man who had the knife. He threatened them with a knife, and then he tried to flee the scene. That's when the officers ended up following him. The officers followed him into a wooded area where he went into the woods and then emerged with a knife, swinging it wildly around.
Put the knife down! Black male, no shirt, gray jeans, black shirt, took his shirt off. Get out, now!
Put the knife down. Stop walking.
Careful. You just ducked into a tent.
Hey.
I'm gonna tase you.
Up, babe.
Taser deployed. You're gonna get it again. You're gonna get it again.
Come on. Come on.
Shots fired, shots fired.
The man took 2 taser deployments. Who would have guessed the taser didn't work? I thought tasers always worked. And then he takes 2 shots and died on scene. And that is our final story of the day. But Donut, you're not even going to talk about the teen who got punched in the face? Yes, I will talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will do an entire video based solely on that incident. Anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little Leo recap / shooting breakdown brought to you by Tomato Operator. There were shooty shoots in this video, therefore, this will probably not have any ads on it, so check out donutoperator.com to get some of my super sweet merch. You can also head over to twitch.tv/donutoperator and subscribe to me for free using Amazon Prime, or you can head over to patreon.com/donutoperator and pledge to me. Every little bit helps. You guys are awesome. Have a fantastic day. The officer recovers, draws his gun, fires several shots. Where he fires several more shots. Oh my god. Fuck, man. I'm having a hard time. He's firing shots at them. The next video that we're going to take a look at comes out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, where 2 gang officers were fucking around. The next incident, spotted a vehicle sitting in the...